Welcome back. It's the 0 to 100 podcast. I'm your host, William Walker Jr. It is officially season 8 of the 0 to 100 podcast, episode 150. You know what? When I first started doing this, I didn't have a set, like, arbitrary number that I wanted for how many episodes I actually do in a season. In fact, I don't even have like an official start date that is nailed down. I just remember when I first started doing this podcast, I just thought it would be fun to do actual seasons. I will say it typically starts around this time in the spring, or like usually right before the draft, and goes all the way until I want to say February, like right after the Super Bowl, is where I feel like I officially end it. So I did want to be a little bit more consistent this year. I haven't worked out the actual scheduling yet, or even if I want to keep the exact same episodes that's going to be posted on YouTube or on the audio medium where you've been listening to the 0 to 100 podcast. This will be the first official episode that's going to be posted to YouTube. I've posted a couple of other episodes, which I've been calling bonus episodes or off season 0 to 100 podcast eps. And so this one is, like, I would say the first true episode of 0 to 100 podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by my fellow friends that I have dubbed the Cowboys crew. It is Teddy and JR. Greg couldn't make it. And so, in fact, I like to say there's a range of people for the Cowboys crew. So it's just Cowboys fans. But in this episode, what I decided to do with them was we all had the task of drafting for the Cowboys. We used Pro Football Sports Network's mock draft simulator, where we all had 7 rounds to pick for the Cowboys, and then we were going to see who came up with the best draft for the Cowboys, and you'll see how that turned out and who came out on top in that regard. Also, in this episode is going to be a little short segment of what am I watching. I've done this before. There's been a backlog of shows that I've been watching, and I got a little bit caught up, and so I felt like, you know what, yeah, let's talk about some of these shows that I'm actually watching right now. So full episode, it is primarily Cowboys, but with a little bit of entertainment sprinkled in. You're listening and watching the 0 to 100 podcast. It's episode 150, Battle of the Mocks. Let's go. All right, welcome back. It's a 0 to 100 podcast. I got my boy JR on. What's up, JR?
What up?
And my boy Teddy. What's up, Teddy?
What's up?
All right, fellas. So I sent you guys an assignment. I decided the draft is fastly approaching. I've run a million different types of mocks, but let's have a battle of the mocks to see whose mock draft can reign supreme or who we would go with. So what I'll do is I'll put the mock draft up on the screen. We'll go through it. We'll let you guys explain how you got to where you who you picked, and then we can vote on whose mock is better, and then we can just get into some draft discussion in general. All right. So up first, I have JR's mock draft.
What's up, Will? What's up, Teddy? And to the millions out there watching this podcast. Greetings. I know this is the moment that you have all been waiting for. As I was telling the fellas before we got recording, this draft was an experiment. I wanted to stick and pick, and more I just wanted to, like, I didn't want to decide beforehand that I was going to trade up to 6 or trade up to 9, or something like that. I just wanted to see what happened, and the way it worked out, I got lucky, and a whole bunch of offensive players went in like the first six picks, if I remember correctly. And so lo and behold, I wound up with Caleb Downs at 12, which to me is a sure thing, a no-brainer, as close to a sure thing as we have in this draft, outside of like Arvell Reese and Bailey and Bain, I think is the other one. So I thought all that was golden, easy pick there. Akeem Mesidor, another one who's like, for some folks, it's a little bit rich for him. I thought he played really great this year at Miami, and I know people have problems with his age. I feel like he was with Miami, like, and in the playoffs, he was playing against other athletes who are going to be in the NFL. So I have a and I feel like the main thing we need him is for this push in the next 3 years. And so if he's 25, 26, and 27 during that, I think I'm good with that. And I heard somebody like asking like well, they want to pick somebody who's going to be their best pass rusher when he gets here. And I gotta say, unless Ezaraku shows out a lot more than he did last year, I think there's a good chance that Mesidor will be our best pass rusher that we'll have. So I'm excited about that pick. Jake Golday. I think he's an excellent prospect. I think he's another guy who comes in and right away he is a starter, and probably wearing the green dot. I thought actually at 92 that was another no-brainer pick. That I would be super excited to have in real life. I'm not sure if he'll get to 92, but I feel that way about so many guys. At 112, Caleb Proctor. To me, I'm hoping he is like the Osa Odigizua replacement. He's around the same size. He's kind of a project. I saw some people didn't like him, but I saw a lot of people who were like, he's going to be a gem later on in the draft. So I thought, great, and we didn't before, but we do now need help in that defensive tackle room. Malachi Fields. Hold on. This guy, he's 6'4", 218 with 32-inch arms. So I was like, okay, I feel like this is a guy who's going to be an extra receiver, and I feel like I wouldn't mind having him come in and compete for receiver 4 or 5. I think that's a good call. And then, like, honestly, I can't say that I know. Dalen Everett is the main guy I know. This guy started every year at Everett. I mean, every year at Georgia. So I thought that was a major plus. And we need help in that cornerback room. And kind of like the other guys, I feel like he's definitely a guy who can compete. And Max, Llewellyn and Colin Wright. They're good players at the schools. Like the stuff I read about them. Obviously, we're talking about guys that are late in the draft, so I'm not really expecting a whole lot from them. But I do feel like if Dallas were to pick these guys, I would trust them a lot because Will McClay has done a good job in the late rounds picking defensive players, and I feel like especially defensive backfield. We've had some luck in the back end of the draft. So that's pretty much my draft.
All right. It's something I noticed as we were going through your draft, and I was sitting there and I wonder if Teddy is wondering the same thing. Teddy, let me ask you this real quick. Mm-hmm. When you did your draft, did you go off the consensus board or did you go off of Pro Football Sports Network's rankings?
The Pro Football Sports Network one, I think.
Oh, okay. So you went all right. So I'm the only one that did the consensus.
Yeah, which is different.
Where it's like the combination of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Because I was all right. I'm gonna say this, JR. I think your draft is spectacular. As you can see, like they gave you an A, and I don't disagree with it. But I was also really shocked because I was like, how in the world was Jake Golday at 92?
At 92?
Like,
yeah.
So
he wasn't there when I did it. I'll tell you that much.
I was like, how the heck?
So I don't know. Like, mine was different.
I was like,
Downs at 12 is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, Downs at 12 is awesome. Mesidor at 20 is fantastic. Then I saw Jake Golday at 92. I was like, Jake Golday at 92. I was like, what the heck? I was like, every mock I've been doing, this dude is going in the second. And so I was like, how in the world did he get to 92?
Which I said. You know, I
Yeah,
said like I don't see him getting to 92. Like I hadn't thought that, but you know, it's same thing. I've heard the same thing about Caleb Downs, and Hakeem. You know, and like even like I've heard people talking about the Cowboys might draft Hakeem Mesidor at 12. You know, which
yeah.
I
If
think
they're
would be
wiped out,
right.
if they're
Right. I'm
wiped
just
out,
saying. So, uh, like I said, for me, I was just like sticking and picking that he wound up there. I was like, you know, that's what I said. You know, that was a no brainer.
okay. All right. I just was dumbfounded. I was dumbfounded. I was stunned. I was like, how in the world did he get? I was like, this thing is ridiculously money. I was like, how did he get to all these players? But
Will,
I
Well,
see you.
just take your ass whooping like a man, would you?
First off, I see you. First off, all right. I will say this: you guys did not follow the instructions. You
What
know,
instructions?
the instruction was I was like
You
I
could say
sent you the link,
consensus.
but I said go with the consensus because it takes all the rankings from everybody from the Athletic, ESPN, it's because it's not that I don't trust Pro Football Sports Network, but to me it's like I see you got an A because you just went with the highest rated guys to me that Pro Football Sport Network had, and so that's why like every pick you
I
got to
kind of
me is
ran it
like,
Like
for
like
how
Akeem
I ran it
Mesidor
was kind of
wasn't.
how the Dallas would pick. Honestly, is how I kind of did mine.
I mean, that's what I was trying to do. And they're not all like that. I mean, Akeem Mesidor and Caleb Proctor were just people I thought the Cowboys needed.
all
Those are
right,
names that have
so
been passed
I got
around.
Teddy's mock up. I got Teddy's mock up. So
Here,
go
I'll be a
ahead,
lot
Teddy, take it
quicker. So
away.
I ran mine similar to what a realistic way that Dallas players that they've mentioned who they could be interested in, and then who kind of mix. So I was not just going over who was the best fit. I was going, okay, how would Dallas look at this? I was gonna get wiped out with a impact like that impact six. I don't know what's going on my camera right now. Uh, by the way, but I was going for we need one of those guys that's gonna be impact player in that first pick, like a Bain who was gone. Styles went right before me, so the issue was you have the Bengals who are gonna take a defensive player. It feels like they have the same needs as you, and then you have Miami or someone could trade up with Miami, which I was like I'm nervous. I'm gonna trade up and just go ahead and take the pick 29. So Caleb Downs, I think, is the one of the best fits in the draft for what you need for the incoming Christian Parker and the defensive overhaul they're trying to do. I think that little bit of going up, I don't really see them going up much further. Maybe something with the Browns at 6. It'd be great if it's just their pick 39. I think you'll at least get a couple people to fall. There's more offensive linemen, I think, going to go earlier than we think. And then if Jacob Rodriguez, CJ Allen went before. I was looking at some trades. I wanted a higher second round pick. Didn't really get it. I know they're high on him. We've seen that they had to pick, they go with Rodriguez. So although for me, most likely I would look to try to maybe get one of these edge players. In terms of ranking, I get it. We need a linebacker who makes sense. And I feel better about him at 29 than at 20. I was hoping maybe one of the edge rushers who I felt more comfortable with dropped to that pick. Did not happen, so I was stuck there with Rodriguez. Still didn't really see the value there at 92 for an edge. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll have to trade a future pick to really get an impact guy and get a development guy later on. Because I don't think after the third round there's anyone who makes sense. Maybe like Romello height drops. I still don't think he's gonna have as much impact. I'm looking for someone with juice. So I get another corner. We fill out the cornerback room. Malik Muhammad from Texas. One of the things they're talking about lately is the involvement that Brian Schottenheimer is with knowing the people. And I've really thought about, okay, bigger programs, if we can, for most of these places, ways that they're going to look at the pro days that they went to. Texas was one of them. I think he has a lot of upside, Malik Muhammad, that you could add in. Who knows? This could be Bland's last year. So kind of bringing in some additional people. You have Kobe Durant on a 1-year deal, adding some depth to the corner and really overhauling the DBs. Singleton, I think they both the running backs had down years. We still don't know with what's going to happen with Jadon Blue, but we know we need to have somebody. So I'm like offensive player. It's like either there's a receiver higher, maybe I would have considered it, but I think Singleton there in the 4th round is excellent value. And of course, Harold Perkins Jr. I think I almost was like, is he realistically going to fall beyond 112? I just think he's a good little chess piece to throw in. He's could be at a couple different spots, and somebody with that kind of versatility is excellent for this team and what they're trying to do defensively and having the upward talent. Athletically, he's great. Adds some more speed at a position where he could be some flex, and adds a version of pass rush that's different. Nadami Tucker, I know guys at Western Michigan. I know a lot of the people there. Pass rusher, not a run player, but that's fine. We don't have any just pass rush types, and he's got a lot of upside. He just finished his first full year really playing in FBS, so an upside player at that pick. You're kind of taking traits and projection for everything there. And then Markel Bell, we always need some depth at offensive tackle. We're kind of been developing people who go on and go somewhere else, like Awesome Richards and everyone else, to kind of back up what might happen. I probably have him being able to back up and learning the right tackle spot. Just I think there's going to be a battle at left tackle, and we'll see where it goes. But it was interesting. I had a one right before this one where I was able to kind of maneuver, get some future second-round picks. If it was me really doing this, I try to get a juice rusher maybe before linebacker. I really don't think the overall impact of like a Jake Rodriguez or CJ Allen, which I think they could be good players. I'd rather have a vet for this team right now because the volatility of what's going to happen there with Marvin Overshown is kind of up and down. So we'll see. But I think realistically, I could see something like this based on what I'm hearing, especially the first 3 picks or so. The only thing missing is they'd probably get a rusher or a cornerback versus a cornerback there. But we know they want to get a lot of safety and DB help.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I liked your mock. Also because I thought it was realistic in terms of I hear a lot, like JR is saying, a lot of people thinking Caleb Downs is going to be there at 12 because of the positional value and everything, but I'm not so sure on that.
Not just positional value, also like his size. I'm hearing a lot is the other thing that's questionable about him. But I'm sorry, Will, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was like, yeah, so I don't know how. To me, to like have a realistic shot at him, I feel like Dallas is going to have to trade up. And then I don't want them to trade up to, like, one of the popular ones is trading up to 6 to Cleveland for giving up 12 and 20 to get 6 and 39, which I guess is okay, but I'd rather them keep 20 at any means possible. And so what you did here, Teddy, with like swapping picks with the Chiefs, I think is one realistic because you could move up 3 spots and then they get to move up from 29 all the way up to 20, so which to me is very worth it. So I could possibly see it. And then I think you also went with guys that have definitely been linked to Dallas in terms of, like, do we know that they're in on the Nnamdi Tucker? Because that's one of the names. It's a name that I know. Say that again.
That's like really the only one I haven't seen directly connected with him. He's a later round guy that can be popular. Just like he has some pass rush, and coming from Western Michigan, not a big school, but has had some talent coming out of there the last couple of years. Ironically, it's where the late pass rusher came from as a last year. RIP, but they have some guys that they developed the last couple of years. So I just knew that with that connection, maybe that's something they think about and go with. Because at that point they're just picking guys we know, connections, and upside. But Markel Bell, I can see that.
I was about to say it wouldn't be a draft if the Cowboys didn't take an offensive.
They got to take one. The other thing I'd mention too about 29 is you're kind of in this spot where it's like, all right, you kind of going to get calls to maybe get people to get to that 5th-year option and trade up at that spot. So if you want to, you can finesse a 2nd-round pick and maybe some fodder, or maybe that's something where we trade back, we can get a player somewhere involved with that kind of spot to come up to the 1st round, especially one of those quarterbacks.
Oh, hold up, Will. Teddy, any chance you remember who else was up there at 29?
Yeah.
Who else?
Who were you wondering? I remember some people who were around there. Like,
Oh, I don't know. Like, what's his name? Howell or
Howell was there. Howell I considered, and I was trying to maybe
TJ
go a
Parker.
trade back. TJ Parker's there. Howell's there. To me, I'm like, I might just take them. If it was me, I probably would take Howell, if I'm being honest, versus Jacob Rodriguez
over
here.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Just because I think
I
they
would
need to get a
definitely prefer
veteran.
that.
They got to get a vet to me at linebacker. I think you can add juice. You can play with your guys at edge now, but you need somebody who could pass rush with a little bit of a speed rush and a little bit of juice coming off the edge. I like Howell a lot for that.
Overshown's a veteran though.
He's not a pass rusher though.
Yeah, he's more,
I mean, he's an inside guy who's a vet, but
I thought you were talking about
yeah. I'm saying like we can't rely on him. I need somebody who like I'm trying to get Jordan Brooks still.
That's what I was about to say. As much as I love Overshown, it's like you can't. The reality is you can't put you can't bank on him. You know, like if he's healthy, he looked great, and then even then it's like you got to see it for what was it 13 games?
Yeah. Well, you know, and I almost wanted to. I almost want to do a write-in and see what would happen, like if I traded my number 20 pick for Jordan Brooks. You know,
and I hope I don't take that. I'm gonna be honest.
So, all right, here was my mock, and I went ahead. I was the only one that apparently followed the assignment, and I went with the consensus. So
that's all right. That's all right. We were on time.
Ooh.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Ooh, talking. Ooh.
Whose pot is it? Whose pot is it? Because if it's my pot, it's so time when I'm on here.
Incredible.
Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight.
We got the reminder text and everything.
Let's get that straight, dog.
Not the reminder text.
The pod starts when the host starts. The pod starts. So yeah.
Oh man.
When you got your pod, then you can say who's on time. So, like I said, I'm the only one that followed the assignment. I went with the consensus. So it was ESPN rankings, PFS rankings. Hey, there's Teddy. PFSN's rankings, and the Athletic. So it took all of those things. So anyway, I decided I wanted to stick and pick. Unfortunately, I was almost wiped out. Thankfully, Mansour Delane was there. And also, I'll say this, Jermod McCoy was also there as well. I personally like Jermod McCoy more than Mansour Delane. I liked him before. I remember it was one of the first names I mentioned that I thought the Cowboys could take at 20. I don't know if Jermod McCoy is going to even make it 20 now after his pro day.
Did he make it in your mock?
He did not make it in my mock.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he ended up in my mock, he ended up going at like 15. So it was like
mine too. 15,
yeah,
16.
he was there. Like he was there, and I felt like, especially here's the other thing. Let me get you guys thought on this, because my word, like all the word I was hearing up until this weekend was, oh, the Cowboys are out on McCoy. They're not even looking at him. And then it just got reported yesterday that he's gonna be one of the 30-day visits. So do you think that was smoke, or do you think the Cowboys are kind of doing due diligence just to be like 100% sure, like they want to check him out physically and determine if they really are out on him?
I think
Teddy, I'll go first because you're probably a bit more informed than I am. I think they're doing their due diligence, you know, kind of like we talked about in our thread yesterday, the day before. You know, I'm not against picking McCoy, and if they get wiped out and he's there at 12, I'm like, and then they pick him. I'm not going to be like, I'll be like happy with it. I am a little leery, and I'm not entirely sure how you couldn't be a little bit, since we haven't seen him play in so long, and the reason why he wasn't playing was because he was hurt. And I haven't really, I mean, like I have, and somebody keeps pointing this out, and like the last time he played football, he was 19 years old. He was a kid, and like I said, and he looked great at that time. It was just, it was just a while ago. So I'm really glad. Like I think doing the 30 visit is a great way to do your due diligence. And I think it's absolutely mandatory. As far as I mean, if he's hurt, me, like our, and I know it's different, but our luck with hurt players has not been great. And I think of Jalen Smith, I think of Trayvon Diggs, I think of Michael Gallup.
Diggs was fine until he got hurt. Like,
yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And so, like,
even then, I don't know if he fit Eberflus's scheme either, though. That was the other part of it. I don't know.
Well, I don't think he fit Eberflus's temperament. I don't feel like they fit with each other's temperament. Like they just didn't like each other. That didn't help. But anyway, all to say that I feel like, like I would definitely take, like, if Delane was there, McCoy was there, I'm definitely taking Delane. I'm like, I just take this cat who's been playing. I just watched him do his thing over the guy who's from 2 years ago. Last time I saw him, he got hurt.
What's your thoughts, Teddy?
I do think the more of the size fits is better for McCoy, but I don't know. I feel like that'd be the same way. I do think they would take Delane, and I feel good about the trajectory that he's on, the fit to play in the scheme. And honestly, there's a connection. I just talked about Ryan Smith earlier when we were talking beforehand. He recruited him to Virginia Tech when he was at Tech. And then, so that's something, they know him. So either way they make that decision, they'll feel safer about it. Because one of the things, unfortunately, living in this spot, you got to sell the fan base. How are you going to sell McCoy and you just had a Revel? At the same situation. Now, do you want a revolution? Yeah, I think we'll have that maybe this year. He gets a little bit better, so we'll see what happens. But I think Mansour Delane's safer.
I went with Delane because again, I feel like the Cowboys probably are a little higher on Delane than they are McCoy. Only thing I'll say about the last thing I'll say about McCoy though is I remember how teams were with Will Johnson from Michigan last year, and he, teams were like he was supposed to be a top corner, but he didn't participate at the combine. He didn't even do his pro day, and so he ended up slipping all the way to the second round, and everybody passed on him, and he ended up having a really solid rookie year for the Cardinals. It looks like he's going to be a decent corner. And
isn't he hurt though?
What'd you say?
Isn't he hurt though?
No, Johnson wasn't hurt
now. He was hurt at first.
Yeah, he was hurt.
No, he suffered a knee injury. He suffered a knee injury in January.
McCoy's done more than what Johnson did last year going into the draft. That's my point.
No, I'm saying Will Johnson got hurt again though. At the end of the season. At the end of the season.
Did he? Yeah. I didn't hear that.
January 26th.
What was the injury?
Knee injury. I mean, and it says like he'll probably be healthy for 2026.
Yeah, he did get hurt.
But I'm just like, I mean, we'll see. And all I'm saying is like our history with Turk players. Like, is there a guy who's healthy there? I want the guy who's healthy. Can I get a baller who's healthy?
I would say that again. To me, it's like if the choice was between McCoy or Delane, my personal preference is McCoy. I like McCoy just because of the
Johnson missed 5 games this past year.
But I ended up going with Mansour Delane at 12. CJ Allen, I went at 20. Like most of these were picks or things that I would do. I do think the Cowboys like CJ Allen because I think he fits what Christian Parker wants to do. He wants smart players.
Meaning smart? Yeah, I was gonna say.
The thing that sold me on CJ Allen was the fact that he called like 90% of Georgia's defense. Mesidor went at 19 to Seattle. right before the Cowboys pick. If Mesidor was there, that's who I would have picked for the Cowboys to take, but he wasn't. I thought about Cassius Howe, but where he was ranked, I didn't want to. I didn't want to take him at 20. Allen was a little bit lower as well, but then I didn't want to move back too far, so I just went ahead and took Allen at 20. I traded back because I was able to pick up an extra pick from Jacksonville, and so I took Jason Barham, the linebacker who's sometimes linebacker, sometimes edge at 95 from Michigan. The thing that kind of sold me on him is one of the content creators I follow, Vach Lombardi, had a really good description on Jason Barham that I thought was apt, and he called him like a poor man's Avril Reese. And so I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Right.
That's pretty good. So I went and took Jason Barham in 95. Harold
You took a
Perkins
Michigan
Jr.
edge.
What'd you say?
You took a Michigan edge in this day
Brave.
and time.
Listen,
Brave.
Man. You took an LSU cornerback early in the first. Wow.
I took two Michigan
You
defensive
sure
linemen. So I
did.
know
Oh man.
I know Cowboys this year go crazy if that were to actually happen. But I took Harold Perkins Jr. at 112. Harold Perkins Jr. is like the player outside of Caleb Downs and Ruben Bain. And that's honestly, Perkins Jr. is a player I'm absolutely in love with. Like, especially
You have been for a while.
I've been on Perkins Jr. for a minute. So it's like there was not going to be a mock draft that I do that I don't get to walk away with Harold Perkins Jr. I took him at 112 because I think that's the only place where the Cowboys. In fact, I don't even know if he's going to make it there in reality, especially after his pro day. I guess the thing that's crazy to me is like with all these players, whenever you had at first people were like, oh, they'll be here. Then the pro day happens and everybody is like, there's no way that person's going to get there. So,
every time. It's crazy recency bias too.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. So if he's also a name that I have heard the Cowboys have been like linked to. It reminds me a lot of DeMarvion Overshown. Like I remember when Overshown was coming out, everybody was like talking about how the Cowboys kept meeting with him. Like they talked to him at the combine. They had it was just seemed like a given name, and Perkins Jr. sounds like the name to me. I like Nick Singleton as well. I'm with you, Teddy. I'm not 100% sure. Like outside of God, why is my name blanking on him? Jesus, my name is blanking on the running back that we got, our starter.
Jaden Blue. Oh, Williams.
Yeah, Javonte. Jesus, I was sitting there like, dude, I was like, why can't I remember Javonte Williams' name? Outside of Javonte, I'm not like I don't have a lot of faith in Jaden Blue. I don't have a lot of faith in Phil Maffa. I'm perfectly content if they wanted to take a shot. Nick Singleton, I'm a Penn State fan, so him and Katron Allen had a little bit of a down year, but they're like that's a solid like Nick Singleton's a home run hitter. And I feel like Javonte is great, but he's not a home run hitter. And so if they were to take Singleton, I'd be happy with that. Rashawn Benny, yes, is another defensive tackle from Michigan. And I know everybody is like terrified, especially because of Mozzie and Taco, but we're not going to scout the helmet, as they say. And I was reading Dane Brugler's profile on Rashawn Benny, and like he's got a lot of potential. He's only 24 years old, so I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I can see it. You can't leave a draft without taking a tackle for the Cowboys or taking an offensive lineman. I do think they need some depth to tackle, so I went ahead and took Diego Pounds, and then I finished it because with the safety, which was the best safety that was left on the board, which was Lewis Moore from Indiana, and so. There's my mock. So decided to take a little break in the Cowboys talk to do what am I watching right now? And so there's several shows that I'm actually checking out. And I feel I'll give a little small review of the shows that I have been watching. Recommend if you should even give it your time. And get a little spoilery, not too spoilery, but there is one in this first show, which is Daredevil Born Again Season 2, which actually started back in March. We are now 4 episodes in. The last episode, which was called The Gloves Off, was just released. Pretty spectacular. And this is where I will get a little spoilery into it. For reference, Daredevil was the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe show that was put out on Netflix, and was followed by Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and then Iron Fist and Punisher. I actually enjoyed those shows, but it was very clear that Daredevil was the best of the bunch. I would probably say Jessica Jones was second, and then Luke Cage and so on. But Daredevil Born Again it came out after you saw Daredevil premiere in Spider-Man No Way Home. It had a little cameo. Kingpin played in a factor in the Hawkeye series, and so then you had a spinoff show which was Echo, and so you're like, okay, they're finally starting to introduce these Netflix characters into the larger part of the MCU, and so I remember when they first announced, like years ago, when Kevin Feige had announced that they were doing a Daredevil Born Again series. It was going to be this massive TV series. In fact, it was going to be like 18 episode season, which were like, oh wow, that's vastly different. And I think they were trying to take it in a completely different direction, away from what the Netflix show was. And then there was, it was well known that there was a massive rewrite. The show was retooled. In fact, the actress that was playing Vanessa Fisk was they had changed it from the actress that was on the Netflix show, and then they went back to the original actress from the Netflix show. So it's been top notch. The first season of Daredevil Born Again, I thought was pretty good. It wasn't great. It started a little slow for me, and I felt like it felt a little repetitive, because I'm like, dude, I've seen it where he's hung up the cowl or whatever. He says he's not gonna be Daredevil anymore. He literally did that at the beginning of the Defender series. He pretty much did that like at the beginning of season 3, where he was kind of like just coming back into it. So it's like I get it. We've seen this story a little bit, and that's how I felt with the first season of Born Again. This second season is Daredevil. It is like no mistaking about it. They finally addressed one of the things that I thought was the most dumb, was not putting the DD on his chest. Didn't make any sense how it wouldn't be listed there. So they rectified that, but it's been really good. The only issue I do have with Daredevil Born Again season 2, and especially because of what's taking place in the city of New York, is I do constantly go, Spider-Man wouldn't be involved in this. Spider-Man wouldn't get into this. It's been explained that Sony and while Marvel Studios gets to use Spider-Man in movies, they can't really use them in TV shows and vice versa. So that's why there's like this separated thing, even though Sony need to stop being dumb, in my opinion, and get this money and allow these characters to interact. But anyway, the spoilery part, I will say, which came from the last episode, and I'm not going to give too much away, but what was really cool is this image here. And in fact, I'll make it a little bit bigger. Was this image here where you had what people are like in that window right there, which the showrunner did confirm is definitely the appearance of the Watcher. And for those who don't know, what the Watcher is, this being who tends to come in and see major events that take place. I won't tell you what the major event was that took place in this Daredevil episode, but you'll find out at the end, and it was pretty cool. And so, but the fact that they had the Watcher interacting with Daredevil is awesome. Like, we've seen it if you watch X-Men 97, like in the episode Remember Me, which was a pretty big episode of the X-Men 97 revival. The Watcher showed up. He's showed up in other things. They've had the What If series. So the fact that the Watcher showed up in Daredevil is pretty cool. I'll say that. The next show that I've been watching, great first season, and the second season is just getting started, is Paradise. And so Paradise season 1 was pretty spectacular. I flew through the 8 episodes. It's a really short series. Like that's another thing. Maybe that's a discussion for another day. Is like how these shows are so short in terms of seasons. And Sterling K. Brown had recently did an interview where he tried to explain why these shows only have these short seasons, where it used to be where you had a show like 24 that gave you 24 episodes for a season, and you used to get 20 episodes per season, and now you get these little, like, you're lucky if you get 10, because like it went from like 24 to where you had like 13, and then it was like 10, and now it's like 6 or 8 is what the best that you can get. But Paradise season 2 just started. They've just wrapped up with their season finale. I am a bit of a binge watcher, but I've been trying to watch this with my wife, and so I haven't gone through all the episodes yet. But season 2, first episode I thought was okay. It wasn't anything that great to me. Episode 2, I was kind of like, I'm getting it, but I'm not quite getting it. Episode 3 is the Paradise that I'm used to, where it's like at the end of the first season, at the end of every episode, it was like, I can't wait for the next episode. I gotta watch it right now. Like, that's what at the end of season or the end of episode 3, season 2, that's how I felt. And then episode 4 was like, now I've got a hold of your heart and I'm gonna rip it out of your chest, and like Temple of Doom style, and watch it, because it was so emotionally heartbreaking, at least to me, in episode 4 of Paradise. So that's the third show that I wanted to talk about. Fourth show that I'm going to talk about is the last season of The Boys, which just premiered this week or last week. So I flew through Gen V season 2 because I didn't want to start the final season of The Boys without watching Gen V season 2, which I highly also recommend. I didn't list it up here just because that season's already been done. I enjoy Gen V very much. It is very still within that vein of The Boys, but it, to me, it's not as heavy, quite as heavy as The Boys. Like The Boys for me is, I can watch 2 episodes at a time, and then I really need like a palate cleanser. So I'd have to watch something funny or something light to cleanse my palate from watching The Boys. And they don't, like, the first 2 episodes don't go any lighter in that regard. Like, it is, yeah, it's The Boys. Like, they are back in full effect. And it's I'm excited to see where it goes. I have a feeling of where it's going, but I'm enjoying it. I will say this: Jensen Ackles, who plays Soldier Boy, is absolutely awesome as that character. He's freaking hilarious, and he's probably my favorite, like non-boys character. He's probably my favorite character on the show because he's that funny. So I highly recommend checking out The Boys. Watch, you can jump into it without watching Gen V, but it makes it easier if you watch Gen V and then jump into The Boys. So and then finally, I wanted to talk a little anime. There's a ton of different animes that I'm watching, but I wanted to highlight this one because the new season had already started. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is the beginning of the Culling Games arc, and it's so funny to from where Jujutsu Kaisen started, because like when it started, you're just like, oh, this is just another simple anime with, instead of power rankings or magic or whatever, it's like this is it's almost like in that same kind of Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball kind of vein, but nowhere near as drawn out fights as Dragon Balls or different types of fighting than Demon Slayer and everything. And so you just think it's like that type of novice fighter versus experience, and then they powers grow and all that stuff. And so you thought that's what it was at first, and that's how it pretty much goes. And then the second season comes with the Shibuya incident, and you're like, whoa, okay, this just took it to a totally different level. Like, what is going on? And now the Culling Games, where you thought if the Shibuya incident was crazy, the Culling Games is like, oh, you thought that was crazy? No, this is crazy. So it takes it to a whole nother level. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I didn't dislike the Shibuya incident, even though one of the main characters, Satoru Gojo, got sealed away, and so he was pretty much done for that season. And this beginning of this season is them trying to figure out how to unseal him and everything. So but it's still pretty exciting in my opinion, and I'm really enjoying it. So those are the shows that I have been watching. I will periodically do this to intermit with the different episodes of 0 to 100 that I'm going to do. And so this is the first time that I'm doing it here on YouTube. But yeah, that's what I'm watching, and you guys should check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna say it flat out. Yeah, even though I'm the only one that followed the consensus, there is my vote for the best mock clearly would be JR's mock though. If I had to,
Well, I don't even like because you use this. You use the same simulator we do, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but
how do you make it? How do you make it do consensus
when it first pops up? But one thing I want to say about your thing, Will, was that you got it. I'll jump in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you go to the Pro Football Network thing, like when you're selecting the how many. In fact, hold on, I'm about to share my screen real quick. Give me 1 second.
No, I got it.
So yeah, you see when you go to select like what you're gonna do under there, it'll have like select players list.
Oh, right here, I got you.
Yeah, so there you go. That's all you have to do. But yeah, so
one of my questions,
like
looking at this from your stuff and all the drafts.
Yeah, go ahead, Teddy.
One of the things that looking at all these drafts and how we kind of end up is what are you safe missing out on? Because in your draft, I didn't see us really get like a strong nickel player. In mine, you got some edges, but not like a strong edge. You know, like looking at yours, you don't come out with like a big time nickel, which is a need that they have. You get a linebacker, you get several like pass rushy type guys, back to back.
Yeah, that's all.
Kind of an edge. I see him like Demar being overshown too. Where like if he's there, he's a pick for the Cowboys. That's exactly why I took him there. Actually, you and I had Perkins and Singleton flip flopped in terms of where they would be. Because even with me, Downs is a nickel type player. And I think that's really important to really upgrade the strength of the secondary. Again, I think they need to trade for a linebacker, but Rodriguez is linked to them. They are probably going to force that, him or CJ Allen in somebody's picks. And then the same thing. He gets it all. He gets the main things they need.
Literally everything that
he got Golday, who is awesome. I still don't love trusting a rookie, but I think depending on what happens, you still trade for a linebacker there to really hold it down. But Golday overshown in a trade. I mean, and you could work with that because Golday has so much upside. You got depth there with Proctor.
Everything that they need.
Literally everything, but maybe adding.
I even like Max Llewellyn.
Max Llewellyn, it's great. Him added with Mesidor is excellent, and Everett actually fits exactly. I mean, this is an excellent draft. You just don't get like a running back, which they probably think is complete anyway.
That's what I was saying. It's like it gets every.
They don't think they need any depth there.
That's what I was like when I saw it. I was like, oh, this is the one. I was like, there ain't even no.
That's the one, man.
So then we have to will it to existence. We have to will it into existence. Legua.
The biggest thing is, will Caleb Downs make it to 12? And after that, you can do what you want. You can trade back to 20.
Agreed.
Hit there.
Agreed.
You could make it work. If that happens, it changes everything. If one of those guys makes it to 12.
Yeah, I just did a consensus, and Caleb Downs did make it 12, so I'm not doing that one anymore. Ew.
I'm telling you, that's why I was like, look.
Why would you do this? Yuck.
I was like, there's no effing way he did consensus. I was like, there's no freaking way.
He never made
it. I should have just lied. I did consensus.
Man.
Well, here's the beauty of it. Like this is the beauty. Like it literally says it. Like draft
It
rankings.
says draft rankings from. So like I knew.
I was like,
I was like,
you should. Yeah,
Okay, let me ask this question.
that's
Let
like
me
what
ask
I
this
said. I was like,
question.
at first, go ahead.
We get wiped out. Are you guys interested in Keldrick Falk?
no.
That's all right. Let's talk about that. All right. So Teddy said no. I'm like, there's always a player that there's players that you're fearful of the Cowboys taking. And the name for me, like last year, it was who was the defensive end from Georgia? God, man, all these names are starting to blur in my head. Like I know it, but
Was it? God,
It
he
was
plays for
not
Cincinnati
Jalen
now.
Walker. No.
no, not Jalen Walker. It was the other
It's
guy.
the
Jalen
other
Walker
one.
was the
I know
The,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
one
Jalen,
the one who was all traits.
he was the all
yes.
traits guy. Did the 49ers take him?
I thought it was the Bengals.
No, that's Shamar. They took Shamar.
That's what I thought you were talking about. You're right.
Michael Williams.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
right.
it.
And he went to the
Yes, thank
49ers.
you.
So he went right before our pick.
Yes,
He went right
yes.
before
It
we
was
took Booker.
Michael Williams. That was the defensive end that I did not want the Cowboys to take last year, and I feel very similar about Keldrick Falk. Like that's how I kind of feel about Keldrick Falk. And honestly, like TJ Parker is another defensive end that people aren't as high on. I would prefer Parker over Falk. I would be more
Why is
okay with
that?
that.
Why is that?
Because I feel like
Go ahead.
Parker might fit the scheme a little bit better as a stand-up outside edge as opposed to like from all the things that I've been hearing on the reviews on Falk is more he's more solid in the run, run defense as opposed to pass rush. And TJ Parker was decent, but he just had a down year. And then at least I saw him at the Senior Bowl tear it up. So you at least saw him do something versus top competition at the Senior Bowl. And plus, I just think he fits better as an outside pass rusher than Keldrick Falk. So
because on
at least
so important consensus big board, they have Keldrick Falk ahead of TJ Parker.
Yeah, I saw that.
He has more upside. He has way more upside athletically, and
he's only 20.
He's younger. They think he could be going, but that's great, and he does have versatility across the board. But I think Parker's selling point is has a little bit more consistent production that you want as a pass rusher.
Which you could kind of attribute to him to the kid being young, right?
I mean, that's the thing. That's what a lot of people say. Like that's where I think you get into the debate of the ceiling floor. People like a lot of people like Mesidor because he's a ready to go pass rusher now, but then the knock on him is, oh, he's 25 years old.
And injury history.
What he is. And I'm like, yeah, his foot was cleared. They cleared him with his foot. And then like my thing is, give me the guy that actually has shown that he can do it. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Potential is great, but I want the guy that's shown he can actually do it. And I've seen Akeem Mesidor be a great pass rusher along with Ruben Bain in Miami. So give me the guy that can actually do it.
And the Clemson guys, they all had a down year, like across the board. I mean, that's like Peter Woods, who was being talked like a top 5 pick. So the whole defense had a down year.
Yep.
So you could at least attribute that, and he has production.
The whole defense is it.
So that's where I see that.
Yeah.
I actually think they are high on Parker if he's there too. He's like in that list. I think they do. I think for them, if one of those edges is there, they would do, because I do think they're going to try to get a linebacker outside of the draft unless one of these guys like Allen or Rodriguez fall, and they could trade back.
I want to run an exercise. I want to run an exercise with you guys and see what Like if we were in charge,
All right, let's do it.
and I'm gonna go at normal. I'm gonna go at normal speed because fast
Oh boy,
sometimes to
let's
me
go.
a little. It's gonna take a minute. We'll be here for a minute, but or actually, do you guys want to just do fast? Because fast we can fly.
No.
through it.
Are we doing
Right,
7
let's
picks?
do-
How many
Yeah,
how many rounds
I
are we
want to do
doing? Are we
7.
doing all 7? Okay.
7 rounds, what I meant. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
want to do all 7. I want to do all 7.
All right,
So
do
we'll
fast
do
then.
fast. Yeah, we'll do
Doing all
fast
7.
because
Are we
I want
sticking
to
and
do
picking or are
normal.
we trading?
We're gonna discuss it.
Okay. All right.
So, all right,
Be quick with the trigger then.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's the only thing.
You want to do fast or normal
All right,
then if that's the
so-
case. For trade. All right, here we
let's
go.
All right. So I'm pausing it right now for a second because, all right. So because one of the early ones was people were saying, you can go with, the Cowboys could trade up as far as 3.
No
I
way.
have zero interest in doing that.
Not a
There's no
chance.
way I want to do that. I'm not trying to move.
Yeah,
up
I
to
mean,
3.
yeah, they could. Please don't.
Absolutely. There is not a guy like that. There's not a Myles Garrett in this
All right,
draft.
so
Right.
yeah. So we're all clear and we're good with
Yeah.
like not going with trying to move up as far as 3. Are you interested in moving up to say the popular one, which is 6, which is trading for?
Let's see who
39.
goes. Let's see who goes.
All right, let's go.
Be quick with it. Oh, got you. Oh, really got you.
Yeah, you got me.
Oh man.
Got me. All right, so
Well,
they took. All right, they got
Downs
that
is
thing went
gone.
so fast.
That took off.
So that
Jeez,
thing
that's
went
why I was
so
curious.
All right, so
Mm.
Styles. All right, let's say this
Dang.
for the sake of speculation, right? Let's
Yeah.
say that I wasn't so slow on the trigger, and you had it where it was Mendoza went, Reese Bailey went at 3, Bain went at 4, and Styles went at 5. That means Caleb Downs is definitely there. Would you have been like, hey, let's do it?
You would have had
Let's move up.
Let's see,
I
because you
feel
would
like
have had
if it were to go like this and it went Reese Bailey, you could have had
I
Downs
don't.
because
all the
Bain,
pass rushers are gone
Styles were
and
going.
Styles.
So
Dang. You
Yeah.
at that point you got it's basically Downs and Delane for being realistic. That's tough.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have
Downs
traded
and
up. I
Delane.
would trade up to 6. So I don't want to miss out on Delane and like McCoy obviously is an option, but I'm trying to think how this team's
So
gonna think.
so if it went that way, you would have been fine with moving up.
I want to get an impact guy.
So you would have been fine with moving up, Teddy. JR,
I would move
you
up to
be fine
6.
moving up?
What all do I have to do to get there?
Probably 12
12,
and
20, and I get 6 and
You'd have to give up
39.
12 and 20.
Yeah.
Because what I heard was that in Cleveland, they're saying they'll give up 6 and 70.
Yeah, it's not even close on the calculator.
I feel like
Come
that's
on.
not the point as far as Cleveland's concerned. So
That's fine
you
for
wanna come up-
them.
So
I'm
you want
not
to come up
coming
here? Right, exactly. For the sake of the exercise, I'll say
Yeah,
okay.
So in this situation,
for this, you would have offered to moved up. But in this situation, we didn't. So Sadiq went at 7, Delane went at 8,
interesting.
Jeremiah Love went at 9, Downs went at 10,
That's the issue.
and Makai
Yep.
Lemon went at 11. So,
Hold up.
so
Can we just
yeah.
talk about
So at
Jeremiah
this
Love to the
point,
Chiefs? Bro.
that would be sick. I would hate it. I would hate it. So,
Man.
all right, let me say this before I get to the Cowboys pick. Speaking of Jeremiah Love, because I haven't asked you guys, if Jeremiah Love is actually at the pick at 12, do you want the Cowboys to take him if Jeremiah Love makes it to 12?
I feel like it all. I feel like it all depends for me on what I am offered. If
Like
somebody is
who's
like,
all right? So who's there? Like who's at 12 that would make you not go Jeremiah Love? Like so, for example, if Caleb Downs is there and Jeremiah Love is there, who are you taking, Downs or Love?
well, I thought you were saying, if Caleb Downs is there, I'm taking Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
so yeah, so you would
we
take
we have a
Downs,
top
Teddy,
5 offense and a top 37 defense.
Teddy Love or Downs?
Downs. I think those players are close enough.
Okay, all right. So Ruben Bain or Jeremiah Love, Jr.
Bang.
Teddy
Bain,
Bain.
same thing. They're close
Yeah.
enough where you take defense.
So Mansour Delane or Jeremiah Love, Jr.
I'm probably still taking Delane.
Same.
Teddy. So, I see. That's where we differ. I take Love. I'm taking Love over Delane.
I
If
just
it's
think that's how
between
it's gonna
Mansour
go.
Delane, then I would take Love. So all right. So I already know. So Jamal McCoy or Jeremiah Love, Jr.
I might take Jeremiah Love.
You didn't even want to. You
That's
so you were
crazy.
that.
Oh, wait. I never said that. I love a great running back. I love a great running back. But just like our defense is horrible. But if I have one of the best players in the draft versus the kid who's hurt, I'm taking the best player in the draft.
Okay.
I, I,
Teddy,
I love running backs and linebackers. I think it's just being old school, but I like both those positions.
Jamal McCoy or Jeremiah Love.
Man, again, all of these situations. I would probably lean McCoy now because I see he's healthy.
So yeah, so y'all okay. So it's so for you guys, it's more people on defense. Like you're putting defense above all else.
Absolutely.
Well, it's tags touching because I think they're in the same kind of sphere. I do have Love a little ranked higher, but they're close enough
I would
where
put
you kind of it's
the
like
only
best
players.
player and tags touching. I go to need at that point.
The only players that I would take Jeremiah Love. I mean, the only players that I would take over Jeremiah Love is Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, David Bailey. That's it for me. Like, and even David
Reese,
Bailey, I would honestly. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Alvaro Reese. Yeah.
yeah,
Correction. So yeah, Alvaro Reese, Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, David Bailey. Those are the only 4 players that I would take like over Jeremiah Love if he were to actually fall to the Cowboys at 12. Thankfully, I don't feel like I have to even worry about it because I just don't think Love is going to make it out of the top
no.
10. So, but I just was curious as to what you guys would do.
If we were a different type of team where like they actually utilize other parts of team building, yeah, I would take Love. I just know we're not going to get what we need because we're not going
Yeah,
to take that first pick. That's my problem. For if this is like purely how I want to build it, then
So,
I'll take Love and I'll go trade a pick
mhm,
next year to get me what I need as a at the nickel,
mhm,
or I'll go get Kenny Moore. We can talk about that. I'll go get Kenny Moore and be like, I'll take
mhm.
Love now. And I'll trade a late 5th for Kenny Moore and for 1 year. And if I want to give him
what
a
do you
deal,
think
I'll
you have to
figure
give
out.
up for Kenny Moore?
Shoot, I don't know, maybe a 4th, 5th.
See, that's
Really?
why I feel like all right. Like my thing is because he wants a contract, and that's why
That's
I'm
he's
just
all
that's
saying.
the
Well,
over.
situation.
don't you jump on that then? Especially with the
Well,
fifth.
the whole thing is you got all these 1 year deals, and then now you're probably gonna be doing the same thing next year with Pickens, where he's
Yeah.
gonna do another tag, and then you're gonna pay a cornerback. They would probably want to bring him on and then get rid of Bland's contract and then stick with Moore if you do it that way. But that won't be until next year. They want to bring him in and have him prove it like they always do. They rarely trade for somebody then give him a new contract.
So you know what? I'm gonna in this scenario, we're stuck with Malinoa, the tackle from Miami, Spencer Fano, the tackle from Utah, Monroe Freeland, the tackle from Georgia, and then you got Jermont McCoy at 14. So would you guys take McCoy at this point, or would you say, hey, what's the trade offers and can I get out of here?
I don't think you get
Or
another
would you just
defensive
take
player
Malinoa?
that makes sense. I mean, bruh, see, this is the whole thing. I think if it's them, they would just take McCoy. Because I don't think, I mean, you could look at a trade back and McCoy fall. He doesn't usually make it beyond like 15 or so. And the only thing is who's playing the nickel is my thing. Is they see Bland as an outside corner. I thought Durant was seen as an outside corner too, but they can get a guy later. The whole building, how they're doing this
I think
defense, is
that's
a little
where
confusing.
Jalen Thompson comes. I think they're gonna play Jalen Thompson a lot in the nickel.
In the slot, yeah,
in the slot. So
yeah, I can see that, which makes me feel bad about the safeties.
But in that instance, I'm taking McCoy there.
So here, you guys would take McCoy because I vote McCoy.
I would take McCoy. I feel crazy that Malinoa is still there somehow, but I just don't see them doing it, man.
I would.
How do you guys feel about them? What if they draft, like we get wiped out on defense, they draft a offensive tackle
with 12 overall? It better be Malinoa. That's the best one. If it's the best one in the draft, I'm not going to argue as
That's
much.
All I'm about to say. If it's I'll say this: if it's Malinoa, I'll be okay. I mean, I would be a little frustrated, but if it's Malinoa, I'd be like, you can't argue with that. To me, because he's the best tackle
I'm looking
in
to
the
trade
class.
one of these guys. I'm trading somebody if it's Malinoa, because you'll get something for a starting tackle in this league. As much as we get on boy at right tackle, he'll start for many teams. Bro, Jordan Tyson's there. What are we doing? We don't have a crazy offense. We took Malinoa and Jordan Tyson. What are we doing, man?
So, all right. So we're at 20.
We just won't bother playing defense.
Jordan Tyson is there. Keldrick Falk is there. Caden Proctor is there. Mesidor is there. I would go Mesidor.
I would too. Who's there? Just for wondering, who's there at who are the other edges there, and then who are the cornerbacks who make it to that, who are at that spot, or safety?
It's so funny. I heard them talk about this today, and they were talking about taking Mesidor or Keldrick Falk. Oh, who was this? This was Dave. What's his name? He used to be on the.com.
Dave now.
Yeah, Dave Hellman and Brian Broaddus were going at it, and he was like, "I'll take Keldrick Falk over Akeem Mesidor. Give me the 21-year-old who already plays the run well with tremendous upside versus the guy who's 25."
That's the argument. And it's something that Brian Broaddus said on the last time I saw he was on the Doing All Right, which I agree with, is that people are going to have to reevaluate their thinking on it, because with NIL, players are going to be staying longer. You're going to get older players because players are going to be staying longer because of NIL. And I feel like you have to give me the player that has shown they're good. Like I get potential and I get upside, but we're still waiting on the potential and upside of Tyler Guyton. Give me the guy that has showed he can do it.
As far as I'm concerned, you just won the argument. Like if you bring up Tyler Guyton, I'm like, okay, you're right.
Floor versus ceiling guy all over again.
And I don't think that is bad. And I'm not out on Guyton yet. It's just we haven't seen it, and the whole thing where before they took Tyler Guyton was like they're like, oh, this guy's got great upside. Like we haven't seen him at left tackle, but he could be great. All right, I'm only gonna do the so wait, are we doing I'm only gonna do the first round, but are you guys good with Mesidor at 20?
Yeah,
my
I'd take
my vote
Mesidor
would
and
be
feel
Mesidor.
happy. I feel
I
happy
am.
with that.
I won't be complaining
McCoy
over
and
that.
Mesidor is a good draft.
Yep.
All right, I took Mesidor.
Let's just see who makes it at that third round pick.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to see
let's keep going. I have half an hour or so.
I'll go. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
here in a couple in like a minute or so.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not gonna go for half an hour more. Again,
I'm
JR,
just
whose
saying, I have
podcast
time.
is this?
All right, who's there at edge and who's there at
Okay,
linebacker?
that's nice. So you got all right, the edges are Joseph. So okay, so they changed Barham. Before I used to see Barham as a linebacker. Now I see they switched him to edge. So you got Joseph, Barham, LT Overton, who I have not heard anything good. I haven't heard
It's
anybody
not
speak
good at
positively
all.
of LT
Go
Overton.
to linebacker.
Anthony Lucas. Linebackers that are there are Deontay Lawson from Alabama. Yo, all right, so I heard Vach Lombardi compare this person to Deontay Lawson from Alabama, and I immediately was like, hell no. And you already know who it is, JR. The comparison.
To who?
Is it a Murray?
Murray. Kenneth Murray.
Yep.
No. I'm out. The
Who's that,
comparison I heard was Kenneth Murray, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm absolutely out if that's the case.
Who's
But
that cornerback?
all right, so Lawson was there.
Well, we got a cornerback already.
Caleb
We got.
Elamor.
Never mind.
You'd have Chandler Rivers, who
Good
I
to
do
know.
like Chandler Rivers.
Yeah.
There's Takario Davis. I actually just heard the profile on Takario Davis on the Doing All Right podcast. There's your
It's
boy.
good to know that those guys
JR
are good.
Everett. Out of all of those, I feel like I would go Barham.
Go back up
If it
though.
was
Who's
me.
at safety? Who's at safety?
Hold up. Let's see. Safety, you got Kamari
See,
Ramsey's a Kiwi. I
Wheatler.
love.
I would go with Wheatley. I would go with Wheatley. and
Yeah,
I'd be
I would
happy.
too.
Was Golday not available?
It looked like he was gone.
Yeah, Golday went.
He's
let me
gone,
see
man.
If I can see, he's been going.
Usually, yeah. I thought I saw his name go pretty quickly.
I just
Yeah,
did a
I'm
draft
trying
on the athletic big board, and I got Caleb Downs again.
I'm telling this thing is so
Where did
mixed
Golday
because
go?
like he must have went early. I'm not seeing it.
Golday
Yeah, there
went
it is.
46.
Yeah, that's
46.
Yep, that's what I thought.
That's typically where I see it. That's why when I saw JR got him at 92, I was like, how the hell did he get Jake Golday at 92?
Hey, Vach always says teams suck at drafting.
Yep.
He does say that. So, but if if it was me, I would say
go with Wheatley.
I'll stop it at 92. But if it was me, I would go. I would go Zakee Wheatley.
Oh, you changed to me. Okay, yeah. I would go with Wheatley. I think he's
that's what I
that
would
takes
do.
care of your mixture of you have McCoy, Wheatley, and Mesidor. That is fixing your defense. So
that's fixing your defense. Yep.
Let's trade for linebacker. See, there we go. That's how you do it. I just think they're gonna have to trade for linebacker. I love some of these guys, but not to come in year one. Wow.
Jason Barham
and Harold Perkins Jr. Dang, that's 2 picks we would have went with.
See, that's
nice.
what made me sick because I was gonna say at 112, my pick would have been Harold Perkins Jr.
Yep, it's crazy. Chandler Rivers is still there, so that's something to think about. If we wanted to go with the offensive tackle early, you could have Chandler Rivers could still play that slot kind of position for you. You could survive at outside corner if you want. So, all right, boys.
That's why
I would have been sick. I would have been absolutely.
That's why it was so hard for me with the value question. Sometimes I'm like, if that is the cat that you want, and you think he's going to help your team, and it's not the right value, but you know he's not going to be there the next time you pick, then pick him.
Yeah.
Value be damned.
I'm with with you on that, JR. Like, so in
Shut
fact,
up.
like I'll let you guys go on this last question, because when you talk about the value part, or like the value part, because I'm with you, JR. Like, if that's the guy you want, like my thing is just give me a good football player. Just give me good players. So I don't care. Like, I do say like, I don't care where you pick them. Except I will say I get it. Whereas you wouldn't take one player at this spot because you could probably get them later, and then you could pick up like multiple good people. But I do feel I lean more on the line of just give me a good football player. And
Right.
it's like if you guys take like if the Cowboys get wiped out and nobody wants to trade with them, would you take Akeem Mesidor at 12 because that's just a good football player?
I'll let you go first, Teddy.
I would say there's probably another option than Mesidor that you at 12, just because the odds are you can get somebody who's maybe either secondary. To me, edge is a need. It's not a need as much as a safety nickel player, and then again, linebackers a need. But I'm trying to trade for somebody. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take him at 12.
JR?
Just 12 is high. And I like Mesidor, but if I'm at 12, I want a star. And if I can't get, if I'm either going to trade for a star or I'm going to move back and see if I can get more players to fix the defense. And
but if you can't move back,
yeah,
like if you couldn't move back, would you?
I'm still looking for a better player than.
Okay,
I'm going to go for a better player.
I would even take Mauigoa if I have to. If it comes down to it, I would do it.
I would agree with that. Or Jeremiah Love.
In that situation, I'm looking for a star.
Bro,
the one you compared, I think McCoy was good enough.
Yeah. If the Cowboys get wiped out on defense and Jeremiah Love is there, I'm running to the podium. I have zero issues with that.
It is what it is. We'll figure it out.
Would you do that with Cardinal Tate?
No.
That's
everybody is like that's all right. So yeah, favorite wide receiver. And this is the last time I will let you guys go on this. Favorite wide receiver, would you guys say? Because for me, it would be Jordan Tyson.
I would say like Jordan Tyson.
Yep, agreed. He's just hurt guy.
Yeah, which we know they're not going to do. But
no.
All right, JR. Congratulations, though. You did win the battle of the mock with your phony board.
Well, we should do one more before we get here. We got 2 weeks, right?
Do one next week.
We'll do it again.
Let's do one live together.
Yeah,
slow.
When we got more time,
we'll do it slow.
Fact, that's what we'll do.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, next, next time.
That way I can help y'all out.
Okay, man, time to go.
Man, please. All right, JR. All right, Teddy. Thanks for joining me, man. You guys have a good one.
No problem.
Peace.